Badaboosh, we are actually back this time. The mic wasn't working, it all fell apart. And we have face cam. I haven't streamed with face cam in a very long time. Wobbly microphone. For a very long time. So we're going to see if it causes my PC to melt and for everything to die. Also, we looked over this way a lot because that's where the chat is and that's where I check to make sure everything's working. So we looking over here a fair bit, I think. But we're here, we're done, and we're back streaming. So it's been a while. It's been a wee while since we streamed. It's been a wee while since we did anything on the channel. But if you aren't aware, we have. Let's get it up. Let's get some wild dice up. Badabish. Badabush, let's view the channel. We have. Hey, look, it's Tom from Shop and Sit Down. We have a brand new video. Rumors that just won't die. Warcry rumors, reality, and reclamation. Wild Dice episode 11's here. Content is back on the channel. It's a fun time. And today, let's go back to Warcry. Go back to Warcry. Back on Warcry now. Shaboosh, full screen that thing. And we have some things. We have some things that I'm pretty darn excited about. Projects largely, and I want to kind of I was going to do it as a video. I will likely still do it as a video. I do have a game booked in. This is of course got me nattering. Hang on. White Whale. White Whale, glad to have you back. Listening while working, so might have to run. Been working on a general rules update to the set to make it generic in case Warcry becomes officially squatted. Would you be interested in taking a look once it's finished? Absolutely. I would absolutely take a little gander at that. When it comes to like community patch, I think that it's always difficult to. We talked about this a lot in the last Wild Dice that came out today. Is that community patches are very difficult to do. However, since this seems to be a plan, like a nuclear option, as in like the game has actually died, Badoosh, we have some cool stuff going. I'm fine with that. That sounds really cool. I myself, despite being verbally, generally anti community patch on games that are still alive, have dabbled myself in various fixes, various things, largely faction focused because that's kind of what I find most fun. Like, I don't want to make factions. So my issue with a lot of factions in Warcry is that they're a little bit bland. And it's the biggest weakness of Warcry is that blandness that seeps in through the compendium and like a lack and missed potential in the case of some of the more modern warbands like Pyregeists. And my whole goal, if I was to ever do any sort of like patch or homebrew or publish anything about it, would be to try and fix factions personally, and I think Pyregeist would be up there as the one I would definitely want to fix the most. There's just so much scope to make them, even with like just minor tweaks, make them so much more interesting. Thanks, and I agree. I'm glad that we agree. I would love to have it be a collaborative effort with all the top players, creators in the Warcry community. Well, that's the thing. I think that's something that for it to become accepted, it would need to not necessarily have creators, but it would need to have representation from the core markets that Warcry currently operates in, which is mainland Europe. It's the Nordics. It's, of course, you've got England and the US, UK and the US. So having representation from that and having a strong leadership to sort of like keep things on track would definitely be for the best. It would be a crying shame if multiple community-led projects were all operating at the same time. So it's trying to find that unified voice to make, like, in the worst case scenario, make that Warcry Fan Edition 3, right? It would definitely have that sort of like collaboration worldwide for it to really to land. I think that'd be really cool to do. But yes, we're back. It's honestly, I'm stoked to be back. It's been Christ. Since Warcry content, of course, ignoring today, it's been what, at least 4 months, maybe more, since I last did a Warcry video. It's been even longer since I did a stream. It's good to be back. I've been to 2 tournaments. I've won some events. I've got them here. I've got like, some like little medals and stuff. I've got a pretty tankard behind us. I can't get to because I've got a green screen there. But I've got a tankard that I won for best player at Warhammer World. It's just been a great time just getting back into the game again, and I'm just so stoked for the next project, because what I've really found that I've enjoyed, and again I might make a video on this at some point, would be that competitive Warcry, competitive most games, I don't actually find that enjoyable. What I enjoy is just taking things I find interesting and fun and just vibing with it. And that's what I did with Ossiarch Bone Reapers, and that's what I'm going to do with Jade Obelisk and Pyregeists going forward. Because like Jade Obelisk are like, let's get them up. Jade Obelisk, they ain't bad. They have issues, right? These are another faction I would love to see, like sort of like not reworked, but just tweaked a bit, right? Also, a good video idea would be to go over some proxy/3D print options for first edition bespoke warbands, which are now out of production. That's actually a fantastic idea, because yeah, it is getting more and more difficult to get your hands on things like the Unmade. Like, yeah, there's a lot of first ed stuff that is just, even like Horns of a Shutter out of production now as well. It can be quite tricky to get your hands on them. And yeah, actually a really interesting one, just for my own own benefit. Go like researching that would be fantastic, and then obviously spreading that to the world would be even better. But Jade Obelisk are like, so I've got two projects. It's Jade Obelisk and Pyregeist. I'm going to be running Pyregeist first, and if I get a game in today, this is a nattering and battering stream, of course. So if anyone fancies a game during the course of the stream, drop it in chat. I do have a game lined up with Lord Phylax at some point today. Don't know when. He's currently out and about. So there'll be a game with him at some point. But in the meantime, if anyone else fancies a game, let me know, and we'll dive right in, have a good time. And I will likely be playing some Pyregeists. But Jade Obelisk are another one I really like. Sadly, there's a lot of Jade Obelisk I don't like. It's really sad, because they're so close to being cool. One, their battle trait sucks. Yeah. The reaction's good. It's -1 damage reactions are always like less interesting than like crit denial reactions. But that being said, the Jade Obelisk version is objectively the best one in the game, because it's the only one that applies to critical hits, which is very important to remember, because you don't want to get crit. So you want to reduce the damage to those crits. So it makes things like 2/4 profiles far less dangerous. So into like mid-range profiles, the Curse of Jade can really help you guys stick around, which is handy because you guys aren't that durable. But they get their abilities, and their abilities are such a mixed bag. It's like they're so close to greatness. They're so close because you have a heal, right? Heal was fairly rare in Warcry. This is the most complex heal for like the least amount of gain by far. And with Respite, it does kind of make Stone Warp worse by proxy. It's not terrible. Frankly, it's not terrible because you can still heal in combat. You can't heal in combat with Respite. But it is worse. It has gotten worse just by healing becoming more accessible. But back in the day, this was a solid heal. Hammering Strikes is also fantastic. It's basically just Tearing Bite, but with some extra caveats on a double as opposed to a triple. This can do some crazy damage if you can get your guys to survive long enough to pull it off. Rock Shattering Blow is just stacks benefit on benefit on benefit, +1 at strength, +1 damage, +1 crit. Like, you guys already have huge profiles. You just hit even harder. And then everything goes wrong for a bit. Okay, so if we bear in mind that, okay, Stone Warp is, questionable. We have these two amazing damage abilities. And then you get Bloody Tribute. And it's like, oof, really? Bloody Tribute? Like, the worst model in the kit has to get a kill, and then one guy gets to move, and it's a triple. Like this is just like this is basically right. What if Calthea Zandire's ability was nerfed and made almost impossible to trigger? It's terrible. It's unbelievably bad, and it's also the basis of their battle trait, which is solid. It's potentially the biggest heal in the whole game. You could heal 23 wounds from this if you had a blessed obelisk bearer, right? So because it heals you to full, so you have one wound left and heal like the 23 wounds that you were missing. If you are left on one, like theoretically, that heal plus this is pretty strong, but that's just not going to happen. That's like Magic the Christmas Land. It's just so mid. Gaze the Idlearch isn't bad, but it's tied to a really expensive model that isn't worth taking. And then we'll go back to good. Might of the Speaker is very good. It's out of faction, so you can pick monsters for this. I think that people often overlook is that you can pick anything. So Jade Obelisk like to be ally things in, and you can use Might of the Speaker to make that ally basically it's functionally activate again, which is wild, basically, right? So on a monster, if it's go crazy, we take a Chimera. You could Might of the Speaker on a Chimera. They get to make 2 immediate actions, which could be a move and attack, which monsters can't normally do, which is insane. And then you could, if you had, again, this is Magic the Christmas Land a bit here, if you had 2 quads in one turn, which is absolutely possible, if you have 2 triples and 2 wild dice, you can just make 2 quads. You could then Might the Speaker again. Might the Speaker again to get that monster to then do another 2 actions, and then the monster can then activate 3 more times for 1 action segments with its regular actions, giving a monster potentially 7 activations in one turn, although far more likely to be 5. And you can combo in weird ways because you can uniquely make a monster move and attack on the same turn, or attack twice on the same turn. Like, Might of the Speaker has so much power, and that's often the extreme end with monsters. This works with Mindstealer Spheranxes, it works with Varangard, it works with everything, right? From Red Crushers. Any big guy benefits from this. It's such a powerful quad. It's always been better than Rampage. It continues to be better than the replacement Rampage. It is such a powerful ability that you need to remember. You have to remember it because it's just, it can win games. So it's like a 50-50 split of like Stone Warp, Tribute, and Gaze being bad, and then Hammering Strikes of Shattering Blow and Might the Speaker being good. And this kind of also falls into their unit roster too, because the Nephrite Priestess is terrible. Like, she's so bad, and there's nothing you can do about it, right? Like, you can't make, so in the thought process of an FAQ, how do you fix the Nephrite Priestess? Well, Games Workshop don't tend to change stats, they tend to change points or abilities. Well, the Nephrite Priestess, you can't make cheaper, because if you make her too cheap, she's just a 20 wound model who you can ally in for a cheap ally, and that sort of like boxed ally game, you don't want that. So just kind of like stuck at this overpriced price point with no real abilities, and her only benefit is that she makes some of your abilities better, and she might crit a few times. That's basically it. It's a sad state of affairs. The Nephrite Priestess is just mid as all hell. The Idlearch falls into the same trap, sadly. The Idlearch has issues. The fact that it's 105 points for toughness 3 and 8 wounds because you're paying for fly. And movement 8 fly is very powerful. And Gaze of the Idlearch, I didn't really touch on it. Gaze of the Idlearch is also very good. You get subtract movement, always powerful, or toughness, less powerful, from a target. But you're paying 105 points for a triple that basically is like a long range net, but also kind of worse, right? And it's 105 points, and it dies to like an archer, right? Like, if this thing was like 75 points, 85 points, like, you would take one all the time because there's a solid pick. Because again, you have to always balance this, so you can't make them too cheap, otherwise you will see Idlearch spam, as the go-to chaff. So it has to be expensive enough that you won't take too many, but cheap enough that you'll definitely take one. And that's a balance you need to find. And then everything else is good. Bar the archer, right? Everything else is good. Obelisk bearers are insane. Like 4424, great profile. No offense. These guys don't have any offensive abilities, which is fair, I guess. But 4424 is a great profile. And they are T4 with 20 wounds for 110 points. So they're 5 points more than the priestess. 5 points more. Gain a strength. Gain a toughness. Gain a damage. And lose a movement. That's basically it. That's all they lose. Obelisk bearers are wacky. They are so good. Always take one. Maybe take two. Some people take three. Right? Super good. And then you've got these desecrators. 100 points flat. 12 wounds, which is for a bespoke. That's standard for a 100-point model. T4, standard. 3535 or a 4525. Insane. Nothing compares. Like, in terms of, like, raw stats, like, these are some of the most efficient models in the entire game. Like, without any abilities, these are some of the most efficient things you could ever possibly hope for, and any faction would die, would kill to have desecrators of any variant in their warband without abilities. With abilities, my god. With abilities, these guys go with 3-6-4-6 or a 4-6-3-6. On average, I think they're basically the same. I think most people take the war pick. I am a bit of a sucker for big numbers, though, like big damage. 4-5-2-5 for 100 is wild. It is wild. It's insane. Like, from the perspective of a bespoke warband, nothing has that profile for 100 points. Like you compare these guys to other bespoke 100-point droppers, things like the Prey Taker from Untamed Beasts, right? He's like a 4-4-2-5. Less strength, right? He's also only got 10 wounds, so less wounds. He's easier to kill, less strength. And he has no abilities. Well, this guy can buff his damage to a 3-6. This guy has the damage profile, okay, when he uses his ability of an Annihilator Prime for 100 points less. Now, he's a lot easier to kill than an Annihilator Prime, but he has the damage output of an Annihilator Prime. The Desecrator with Statue Smasher Hammer has the damage profile of an Eskurgan Exemplar, right? Which is also 100 points cheaper. Again, they're slower, they've got less wounds, but like insane efficiency. Absolutely wild. Like, you want to have at least two. Realistically, like 3 or 4. Depending on ally game, you might have a few. I mean, you might have like 2 or 3. You could take like 5 of these and be fine. The only weakness, and we'll see what the. It's obvious what the weakness is if you've played Warcry a lot, but we'll touch on it in a second, right? But raw efficiency, the only thing in the game that I can think of that is more efficient than a Desecrator in either variant is a Scale Breaker. Ooh. Tasty. So a Scale Breaker. So Scale Breakers have the same movement, the same toughness, the same wounds. Their damage profile and strength is lower, but that doesn't matter because the raw efficiency of their damage profile combined with their ability to turn misses into crits far exceeds anything in the game. They're even more ridiculous. And they're 5 points cheaper. But other than Scale Breakers buffed, Desecrators are like up there as like the second best thing you could possibly ever have. They're insane. And that's crazy to think about because Defacers aren't even bad. Like, Defacers are also kind of ridiculously efficient. Because again, please try and find somewhere else as a 4-4-2-3 for less than 100 points. With moving forward, T4 10 wins, right? It's a crazy profile. They can buff their damage, of course, to a 5/6 profile with their ability. Like, when it comes to damage, Jade Obelisk have it on lock. You have tank in your Obelisk Bearer, you have damage in all your other melee threats. They are crazy efficient at doing damage. The only weakness of the Defacer is Strength 4, which he can't increase with abilities, and Wounds 10. So he is noticeably easier to kill for breakpoint purposes than a Defacer, because those 2 wounds are substantial when it comes to how many hits you can survive. The benefit, though, is their movement 4, which is actually leagues better than movement 3 for getting around the board. And then you have the Antithite Bow, which isn't bad, right? Like, I say this a lot back in the day. The Defacer with Bow is never taken because they are overpriced, okay? But should archers are always useful, right? The issue is they're about 20 points too expensive. If you dropped this guy to 75 points, he would be on par with other archers of his sort of like stat line, and he could legitimately be taken in like 1 or 2. You take 1 or 2 of these guys, and they'll be fine. Okay. Defacers could do with like a 5-point shave just to give them a bit more of an identity compared to the Desecrators. Because at 5 points difference, you take Defacers when you're 5 points over your limit, right? So if you're trying to make it so everything in this warband was like more takeable, it's 75-point Defacers. It's like 90-point Defacer with tools. You don't touch these guys, of course. They stay as is. You cut this guy by like 30 points, 20 to 30 points. Obelisk Bearer stays the same. Nephrite, you can't fix her. Frankly, with the Nephrite, I would give her like, keep her as is and give her like crit 6. Just to be stupid. Make her a 4-3-1-6. Just let her have fun. The biggest weakness of Jade Obelisk isn't the fact that the warband's bad. The warband has most of the tools to succeed. The issue is they're so slow, and they have no means to increase that. That's sufficient. And because you're in chaos, there isn't many ways you can ally in that fix. The only fix I can think of off the top of my head is a +1 movement aura from Sloppy Bilepiper. And even then, that just takes you to movement 4 on your main tanks and smackers, right? And that's just not fast enough, right? When you look at dwarf factions, they have access to like multiple ways of moving extra, like getting extra bonus, easy access to bonus move actions that Jade Obelisk simply don't have the luxury of. It's tied to the Nephrite Priestess because I think at some point they must have tested this internally against the Hunters of Hawanchi and thought, okay, well, this is actually a really good ability into squishy guys. And it probably is, but even then, the Nephrite Priestess isn't really doing much against even a skink. So I don't know what they were thinking. Whatever it was, they won something. But yeah, they're a bit too slow, frankly. But there's ways around this, right? If you're too slow, you've got many ways to work around it. And because, well, speed's just another way of saying projection, right? Projecting your threat. Hey, Average Dark Elf Enjoyer. Yay, I'm back, man. I'm glad to see you're back too. Practical Dice, how's it going, man? Loving the Malifaux content. That last video was absolutely amazing. The production qualities were insane. Check out Practical Dice if you like Malifaux. Best on the web by far. Yes, movement is basically like it's just projection by a different word, right? So if we were to break it down to be projection, how can you fix projection? Well, it's either through movement or action economy, or it's through ranged units. Now, the perfect answer to that is, of course, the fecking archer. Alas, oh no, we can't do that. He's too expensive. Another option would be to have given the priestess a wizard bolt. Another thing I am convinced actually existed within Jade Obelisk at one point was a wizard bolt on the priestess. That would have been more projection. And yeah, White Whale, take a great Bray Shaman and pull things into them. That's another one, right? move things into you. Slaughter Priest for Bloodbind, exact same idea, right? And also the Slaughter Priest gets Blood Boil, which is, again, that's projecting threat, right? In another way, you're projecting the damage in different ways with Blood Boil. You can do this with Ephelim as well, because Ephelim unlocks Apatrax the Stairfish, also has a pull. So there's a few ways. So you can't move your guys around easily, but you do have many options, almost uniquely, maybe uniquely within Chaos, to move things to you and to project threat. Now, if you were to go the Ephelim route, Ephelim route is very interesting because it actually fills a fair few holes. Because Ephelim, of course, has his their own range attack at strength 4, which is a good strength, which means that they can project threats themselves. They unlock Apatrax, who has Fly, which makes them mobile and useful, even if they're only moving 4. They're cheap for 10 wounds, and they have a pull. So right off the bat, for what, 215 points, you're getting a wizard and a pull. That's projection, and that is fixing your movement issues in a very efficient package. You also unlock Kindle Finger, who is also incredibly cheap. Arguably also projects threat with that range attack. Not the best, of course, but Kindle Finger, again, like you could take Kindle Finger. You have teleports, because of course Ephelim has this teleport shtick, which again fixes a lot of your movement issues. You have access to Resurrect with Ephelim, so you can resurrect your demon elements, so which acts as a teleport. So you get longevity, but you also get to basically teleport models around the board because of how Resurrects kind of work, depending on where they were when they died, right? So Ephelim is an unbelievably good addition to Jade Obelisk. Fixes every issue imaginable. You can, of course, like White Whale said, go Slaughter Priest for very similar effects, or the Great Prayer Shaman, who again has very similar effects. But Ephelim is kind of sexy. We dig Ephelim here. And let's put them in. Let's make a list. I've got a list in mind. We'll make a list. So we'll take Ephelim and we'll take Apatrax. Okay. And then, because we're Tzeentch, Jade got Tzeentch, we could take a Vortimus. Now, I think Vortimus gets slept on. Maybe rightfully so, but Vortimus has some really fun ideas within his little band. So one, Vortimus has a longer range than Ephelim and a surprisingly high wound pool, plus 4 wounds over Ephelim. So, and he's still cheap. Vortimus is cheap. So you have more range projection, a little bit more tank at a reasonable cost. But Vortimus also gives you access to models who are identical to your defacers. Sorry, less range. They're only range 10, not range 15. But they are practically identical to your defacers with bows, and they are 20 points cheaper. Which means these can also come in, if you wanted to fill in this like Chud Archer threat projection. So for about half of our warband cost, we have basically solved our projection issue. We have 2 very powerful wizards. We have 2 Chud Archers who are durable enough and cheap, and we have a pull. And we still have about 500 points left over, okay, which is kind of wild. So then we jump back in to the Jade Obelisk. And we can probably do this in a number of ways. We do need the Nephrite Priestess, sadly, but we'll plonk her in. Now, ideally, we would want to get Strength Blessings on Vortimus and Ephelim just to make those range attacks a bit more impactful. We might take an Obelisk Bearer, depending on points. We're definitely going to take some Desecrators. I'm going to say, I'm going to go with the War Pick because 4525 just feels a little bit nice. I'll likely model mine with hammers because the hammers do look better. But the War Pick, we'll take 2 of them. We'll take 2 of them. And then we can squeeze in maybe even a 3rd, but we'll plonk in one of those. So we're at 9 models. And we're rocking up with maybe a little bit too much on the ranged end of things. But we do have a surprising amount of wounds, a surprising amount of durability. We have 70 points left over. That could be a Kindle Finger. We could put a Kindle Finger in here, go to 10 man, and still have 15 points left over, which is enough to bless Ephelim with some strength, or Vortimus with some strength, if that's what you prefer. And not gonna lie, this list could actually be kind of legit. You could, of course, drop off Navaria and Turash and take whatever you want. Right? You could take some more Jade Obelisk. You could take some more whatever. I thought you could only ally in non-heroes with Underworld Warbands. I think only ally in... Sorry, Dancing Marionette. I thought you could only ally in non-heroes with Underworld... Yes, so... Ephelim is the hero of Ephelim's Pandemonium. So if you were to ally in Ephelim, you're able to take the rest of Ephelim's warband as allies, but they don't count for your ally tax. And the same with Vortimus. So Vortimus's Underworld warband becomes available as additional allies if you take Vortimus. So in this instance, Navaria Turash are with Vortimus, and Apatrax is with Ephelim. The Bladeborn rules, the Underworld Warband ally rules, are a little bit awkward, a little bit finicky. But yes, as long as you take the hero for that faction, you can then take the other members of that faction in your warband. So we have a few options. We could drop Navaria and Turash, take some more big hammers. Absolutely viable. We could drop even just one of them and take another big hammer. We're good to go. If you were to stick with this, we would take a Kindle Finger, or we could stick with this at 9. 9 is a very Tzeentchian number. We do kind of love that Tzeentchian number. With that in mind, we could put some blessings. We have 70 points of blessings, which is, I think, easy 30 points goes straight into Vortimus and Ephelim. This takes Vortimus to strength 4. Ephelim to strength 5. Now your actual range damage is actually legitimately scary. That's reliable damage. You're playing... These guys are Tzeentch, remember? Tzeentch have access to an ability to increase their strength as well. So that strength 4 could be strength 7. Ephelim could be strength 8. So you can really punch through high toughness. You could punch through even Annihilator Primes with shields with these two guys, which is terrifying to think about. That leaves us with 40 points. Now, those 40 points could be spent on dropping Navaria and Turash and taking 2 Defacers. That should cover it. You could also give your Desecrators with War Picks or Hammers +1 move. This is another way of solving the Jade Obelisk's main issue, which is their movement, is to make your slow things not slow. So the Desecrators going to movement 4 is a big increase. It increases their threat drastically, and it means that everyone bar the Obelisk Bearer is movement 4. He's a bit slow. You've got to deal with that. It is what it is. Everyone else is fine, and you still have 10 points left. Now, 10 points is 10 points. You can get basically, this is a crit blessing. It's a crit blessing, and you have a few options. You can either give the Nephrite Priestess +1 crit, so she's a bit more useful. A more interesting option would be to give the Obelisk Bearer +1 crit to go to a 4-4-2-5, which is a good profile. That's very good at blending through chaff. Or you could go a little bit funny and make Apatrax a 3-7 to really, really push that. Another ability blessing I like in this kind of list is to make the Obelisk Bearer able to use Inspiring Presence. I forgot what the blessing is called. It's 10 points, but it allows you to slap on Inspiring Presence from non-heroes. So the Obelisk Bearer is quite a good candidate for that, just to give you a bit more Inspiring Presence, like double team, tag team shenanigans. So that might be an idea too. But this list is legit. I think is actually quite good. I have no idea what Aspire to Glory is. Spire. Let's see what Aspire to Glory is as the Chaos trait. Does that work for us at all? Add 1 to the damage points allocated by the first critical hit. This actually is pretty good. Okay, so every single one of our melee units benefits from this. So that's actually pretty good. An extra crit, solid. Really, really solid. It'll come up from time to time. It'll be you'll do like an extra 4 damage over the course of the game. It is what it is. Cool. Love to see it. But our ability suite is nothing to scoff at either. Also, it's right here. Silly me. We have Twist of Fate, which allows us to react in weird ways to change the value of our abilities. This generally won't matter. Of course, because of Jade. We have Blue Fire for some more threat projection. Luxus Sorcery to give us some more strength in our range attacks. Teleports with Ephelim to do some mind games. We have our Pull. We have another Luxus Sorcery. We can add... Sure. Increase our melee stuff on our guys who are ranged. Sure, why not? We can heal Rock Shattering Blow for strength and damage. 2 Masters of Destiny, I'm sure that'll matter. We can resurrect. We can use Empowered Bolts to increase our attacks and strength of our next range attack on Vortimus. So this will take Vortimus potentially to a 5-7-3-6 on a free attack action. So if he was already in range, his 10-inch range, you could fire 9 times in one turn, with 5 of those being hyper powerful. Kind of insane. And of course, Might of the Speaker. So you have 3 quads, and all 3 are pretty good, depending on the scenario. The only issue is that with Might of the Speaker, we don't have the best options to pick for who we want to use. But it is what it is, right? We don't have a big smasher to really benefit from this, but we have other quads to make up for that. So I think this list is actually like could be competitively viable. You could, of course, again drop Navaria and Turosh. I like Shadarchas. 2 might be too much, but Shadarchas are fun. If I was to make these, I wouldn't even use these models. I would literally just use the Jade Obelisk with Antithite Bows because they're actually really cool models. To proxy as them, we have more half of our warband can shoot. We have pulls. This is solid. This is really good, I think. Oh, Beardo, thank you so much for the $5 donation. Thank you so much. It really means a lot, man. Thank you. Welcome back, brother. It's good to be back. We natter and we batter again, lads. We damn right we do. Again, this is a nattering and battering stream. If anyone fancies a game, drop a comment in the in chat. I'll set up some TTS. We will play a game of Warcry. I won't be taking this list. I am dead. As much as I've been gushing on Jade Obelisk, my true love is actually Pyregeist at the minute. I am so into Pyregeist. It's not even funny. They were right next to us. They were right next to us for like so long. I've moved them though. Pyregeist, man, these guys absolutely suck, but they hold a special place in my heart. And if I get a game, we're Pyregeist. I think I've featured Pyregeist several times on stream, and I've also had a blast with them. Ooh. That is tasty, but also kind of vile. It's kind of weird. Pyregeist, man. Pyregeist are just... They just define mist potential, right? I feel like their place is coolest looking. It's right. They are the coolest looking warband in Warcry. They are just fiery dudes. Like, oh, there's no picture. That's not good enough. We're getting a picture up, man. We're going to appreciate Pyregeists. Look at these guys, man. Got eBay for this. Beautiful. Why not? Be gone. eBay, man. Pyregeist. Look at those flamey boys. They're so good. So good. But they really are just missed potential. Like, everything about them is like, this is so close to being good, and it's just on repeat for the whole faction. And it's so sad. It's so sad to see. But I am the biggest defender of Pyregeists for being legitimately fun, because as difficult as the tokens are to make, as bad as the tokens are as a mechanic, the joy of trying to generate as many tokens as possible, it never gets old. It never gets old. This is probably a bit too high. It never gets old. They do have some fun profiles and units. They do have some interesting abilities, like Soul Blaze is like legitimately really good. Agonizing Penance is one of the most fun quads in the game. Like, set a guy on fire, they are like, mechanically either pushed or pulled towards the closest thing, and then they explode. Like, it's so stupid. It's so good. It's also a bigger explosion than the actual token. As a little side tangent, I feel like this is a little slip up. I think this reveals what was once the actual size of the Pyre tokens during testing, and they thought it was too good because they were tested into Riverblades. So a 2-inch bubble might have been actually quite oppressive in internal playtesting. Now, of course, in reality, they're wrong, and 2 inch is actually the perfect range for a token. Alas, we don't live in that universe. Other great abilities, Fan the Flames is fine. It's the worst version of this ability. It is fine though. And Pyroba's Curse is unironically like my favorite ability in the whole fucking faction. It's so fun to use. But when it comes to defending Pyregeist, people are in two camps. Okay, there are two kinds of Pyregeist players, and there's people who are wrong, and there's people who are me. Now, no offense if you aren't me, it's okay. You might have some traits, such as basically to play Pyregeists, you need to have Torch Wraiths, right? They are mandatory. It's like people like I've seen the articles, I've seen the videos, I've seen the Discord. Everyone saw Torch Wraiths. I'm like, you know what? These guys get cut immediately. Cut these 3 guys, replace them with anything else because they're not good enough. And I've never been in that camp, not even for a single second. Torch Wraiths have always been legit, always. To the point, I will always take 1. I will sometimes take. I will usually take 2, and I sometimes even take all 3, because they are vital to the Pyregeist playstyle. Because Pyregeist in their current form really can't brawl that well. They're clearly intended to brawl, like get tokens, stand in token, fight, brawl. You've got toughness 5, tank smack, explode, right? It's the kind of idea. But the issue is they can't do that because they've only got 12 wounds. So they're a bit squishy. Now, Torch Wraiths are integral because they actually get your engine started. They have the range attack required and the easiest way to generate tokens. Because Pyroba's Curse is made from Torch Wraiths. So it can be used by Torch Wraiths. So this is the only ability, bar their quad and their triple, that can make a token. And it's so easy to do. It gives you +1 strength, and then you just get to make a token if you kill. This functionally turns you into a 6-4-1-3. That is a really good archer profile. I'm not even going to like beat around the bush. A 3-4-1-3 for 110 points with movement 6, fly, toughness 4, 10 wounds is a legitimate profile. That is a good profile for a good cost. These guys are fast, they are kind of durable, and they make tokens. They can self-buff. They don't even need to make tokens off it. Just going to strength 4 is a good enough buff. They can chip down chaff and just be a pain in the ass, because that's kind of what you need to do, right? Like, these guys are a pain in the butt faction. They want to swarm, they want to overwhelm, and they want to hit you from many different angles on their terms. Okay, this is the important part, okay? Most of your guys are only moving 4 with fly. That's not the most effective flyer in the game. They're quite slow for their fly. but you still have to use the flag to the maximum to dictate where engagements are. And when you get into those engagements, you have to be able to stack them in your favor heavily. So having multiple Balefire guards, or chipping away with Torch Wraiths before finishing off with Balefire guard, or Balefire guarding them and then finishing off with Torch Wraiths. Flame Wraiths are also really good, also slept on, right? Like, there's actually not a bad profile in Pyregeists at all. Like, they're all useful, they're all good. White Whale. Pyregeists would be easy to fix. Increase blast range of Pyre tokens to 3. Also allow their battle trait to let players set up 1 free Pyregeist token after the first initiative phase. Also give them all a double ability which lets them trigger a Pyre token within 3 inches, but then remove the token after triggering it. Yeah, more or less. There's so many ways of doing it. There's so many ways. Like, 3 inches is probably a bit too big, because that's a whole objective. Which is, like, I know that, like, you've got things like you're messing on brutes. You've got things like Over My Dead Body on dwarfs that affect whole objectives. But I think a Pyre token hitting an entire objective might be a bit bad. A bit feels bad. 1 inch is too small. 3 inches is too big. I think 2 inches is where it's at. But the biggest weakness of Pyre tokens, I agree with everything you said there, by the way. They're all very good fixes and potential fixes. The actual biggest weakness, what the hell is it? Here we go. Is that this. Hang on. That one. You do not get to place the token freely. Now, this makes it so much harder to set up your tokens in a way that's actually beneficial to you. When you kill something, you should be able to place that token within an inch, at least an inch. I want to say like 2 inches, even 3 inches. If you had a 2-inch bubble and a 3-inch placement, ideal. Might be a bit too strong. This is where playtesting comes in, right? But somewhere between 1 and 3-inch placement with a 2-inch bubble is probably the ideal way to get Pyre tokens to go. Also, I agree that you can't stack them. The stacking's worthless, right? But there should be some element of stacking. If it was literally just additive and every token does 3 damage, nah, it's terrible. I think it should be 3 damage plus 1 damage for every additional token within range. And that would mean it would incentivize getting more tokens down. You have more freedom to place them. Tokens become more relevant as we go. I actually wouldn't change their trait to generate free tokens. I think tokens should be difficult to produce. There should actually be a resource cost for them, because in an ideal world, the token should actually be quite good. So a free token, I don't think is actually where it should go. And on top of that, their actual battle trait's really, really good. So I wouldn't change their battle trait. It's actually pretty good. My buddy hates it when I play Pyregeists. Why, man? Why does he hate Pyregeists? That's what she said. This is functioning like how mines work from Hearthkin Salvagers and Kill Team. I am not familiar. Easy. For each Pyre token, it increases the range by 1 inch. Is that like regardless of how far away they are from each other? Because that'd be crazy. Now, I also don't think you should be able to trigger the token on a double either, White Whale. I think it'd be kind of weird with it, right? So if, you say you light the Pyre, remove it, replace it with a resurrection, because what defines Nighthaunt? It's their resurrection, right? It's their resurrection and their fly. So if you had a unique way of resurrecting, as in pick a token, remove that token from play, place a guy down, that guy comes back in a fiery explosion, aka the token triggers and he spawns out of the flames, right? On a triple, that's kind of cool. You have like an explosive rebirth, right? Like conflagration of reincarnation. That sounds suitably grimdark. Conflagration of reincarnation. Awesome, right? You could do that. It'd be awesome. It'd be a great way of replacing this with a good ability. And it would also let you expend tokens different ways, right? Fireaxe, man, how's it going? I'm walking home and I need to quickly make dinner. But after that, you're in trouble. I doubt, man. I'm going to kick your ass. Rick, man, hi, dude. Good to see you back on the token. Should be back on. The token should be a base. Yes, they do. Should be a base. Enemies need to move around the pyres. Yeah, no, I completely agree. As it stands, the tokens just don't do anything, and they also don't interact. They don't force interactions on the board. If they were actually some sort of obstacle, it would actually be good as well. If they block line of sight in some way or provided cover, if you couldn't stand directly on top of them, you had to go around them, all that kind of stuff. So the damage is low, but it gets harder and harder to avoid. Could be. That sounds like Glory Hammer. That sounds like a. Glory Hammer, there you go. Another good idea would be to have them inflict some type of damage of a time effect. Maybe put a token on them when they're hit by it and then roll a d6 when activated. Next, yeah, I mean, we have bleed. We have bleed on Kamandora's blades. You could do that, a similar effect with flames and burn that way, right? 1/2 inflicts another 1 down. Yeah, definitely. Eden, 1 deacon, 2 flail guards, 2 halberd guards, 2 torch wraiths, and a flame wraith with torches. Give the deacon with the brazier staff a strength bless and the flail guards crit blessings. That is a strong T5 line. That's a very strong T5 line. 2 wraiths to annoy and the flame wraith to be ignored or sacrificed. Yeah, that's a solid list. I could be the minority here. That is actually a very interesting list. I can see that being quite difficult to deal with if you don't have a means to effectively punch through T5. Yeah, it's gonna be a struggle. I quite like running probably the Deacon of Flames staff, and then it's just taking like literally one of everything. Have you considered just a horde of sacrificial chaff? Fireaxe, we don't have chaff and pyre, guys. What are you talking about? Our chaff's 90 points. That's like the elite of some warbands. The Deacon does look cool. The Deacon is wild. He is such a cool model. Now, legitimately, right? People, you may laugh, okay? I think 1 box Pyregeist is legitimately good, okay? So with the points reductions, they have 70 points of blessings on a 1 box. They hit 8 man, and the lineup is actually pretty solid. Okay, the flame wraiths aren't bad. Torch wraiths, I love them. You can take 3 of them potentially, and you got those bale guards. Okay, and you have so many blessings. You can build this in so many ways. You could give the balefire guards plus 4 wounds. You could do what I like to do. You could give all the torch wraiths plus 1 strength. So when they use Pyrobar's Curse, they go to strength 5 because it's funny, right? Having a mixture of range 1 and range 2 means you can double things up. So I found a lot of success from having Pyregeists working together. So having a range 1 guy tank whilst a range 2 guy slams. And because the Balefire Guard and the Flame Wraith are so similar, you can have a Flame Wraith protect the Balefire Guard with Flail, and you can have the 1 inch range Flame Wraith be tanking for the Halberd, right? You can alternate the range 1, range 2s across the 2 units and have a fairly solid line with, again, the Deacon. I like the Deacon with plus 1 strength on the range attack sometimes, just so he's got that nice little strength 4 on that poke. Because, again, I legitimately think that poking with Pyregeists is legit. Like the Jade Obelisk, having a projecting through your ranged profiles should be solid enough to keep a lot of things at bay. And the things that you can't keep at bay are things you couldn't keep at bay anyway. Okay, so an example would be Gorges. You just don't have an answer like Gorges. They are faster than you are. They have charge. They hit too hard for your toughness to matter. and your damage is too low in melee and range to effectively cut through them all. And tokens are useless, even in a good token scenario, right? So against really killy warbands with speed, Pirate Geist fall over no matter what. Okay. Notably, you are very weak to Iron Jaws. 'Cause Iron Jaws always take a brute, and brutes will humescent and take your objectives, which means that you are basically your speed and fly is negated because they can just turn off any objective you try to backline, right? So and they can outkill you. So it's quite spooky in that sense. But legit, if you were to take a one box, if I was to take a one box, and I will be taking a one box to an event, I think, at some point in the future, it's this one box with like strength on all the torch wraiths, strength on either the melee or the range of the deacon, and like a crit on like probably the torches. Probably. Good time. Good time for all. A deacon and 8 flame wraiths. Dude, that's not even a horde of, that's 9 guys. That's not a horde. That's like an average sized warband. Against one other box, they went against other one boxes, they went 3-1 at my local game shop. Dude, yeah. I can imagine. People sleep on them, and one boxes don't often have this much range. You have to dig. People are shit on torch wraiths. Okay, combined, this is 18 shots. 18 shots. Wild. Okay, you want strength on the tongue father? Maybe. So if when I run these, it's either depending on points. I like to put either attacks on the tongue father, so he goes to a 4-5-3-4. Or if I want to save points, I'll put strength on the staff, so you're a 4-5-2-5, which is comparable to a 3-5-3-4, right? And yeah, I get what you're saying. T5 stocks are way up and far more common. Strength 5 isn't what it used to be. You're right. Having a strength 6 hitter might actually be more beneficial in melee. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. And yeah, Pirate Geist are going to struggle into a lot of things. I mean, I think realistically, like, I like the Scorched Flail because a 4-4-3-5 is a really good profile. And again, like you aren't trying to kill things that are T6, right? You aren't trying to kill big scary things because you don't have the toughness for it. You have the wounds for it, you'll just die. So you really are playing a bit of a keep away game whenever you can. Glad you're here. I saw the Epicurean Reveler's Spearhead and instantly thought of you. What? Let's check it out. Let's see what Epicurean Revelers. Epicurean Revelers. Here we go. Yeah, dude, I don't blame you. I think of off metal when I see this as well. This is like also legit. If you want to start Slanesh, this is a really good box. What you get Vexmore. Crazy. You get Vexmore, his whole warband, 3 Fiends. Fiends are good. Seekers are good. And you get all these demons. Dude, this is a really solid start to Slanesh. Hot diggity. And it's very much off meta coded. But yeah, I quite like Torch Wraiths, and I fully expect that. So Firelax will eventually come on stream. If anyone else wants to game, of course, again, reminder, this is a nattering and battering stream. If you want to give Toast a good old walloping today, let me know in the comments. We'll have a game. Firelax will be coming up in probably like an hour or two for game 2, and that'll be a fun time. I'll be probably running again Pyregeists for at least one of these games, and it should be a fun time as I get my ass whooped. Definitely by Firelax. I think Firelax is running either Flame Seekers or Fire Slayers, and it's a fire off. And sadly, I think his flames are much better than my flames, but we'll find out. No one here was around during my Slanesh Demons villain phase in Warhammer Fantasy Battle. Oh, dude, I can just imagine. I can imagine. Funny enough, what's really funny is that Off Meta and I basically played without ever interacting prior to Warcry, right? We basically played the same armies in the same way, right? So he played like all cavalry wood elves. So did I. I played Slanesh Demons as well. Did you run lots of chariots in Warhammer Fantasy Battle? 'Cause I did for the impact hits. They were hilarious. The big old was it the Doom Flare? No, it wasn't a Doom Flare. It was the sexy flare, the massive like lawnmower. Just took like 3 of those and just launched that. It was so much fun. But anything with speed in Warhammer Fantasy Battle was insane. It was broken. It was like the game was very much balanced around massive hordes smashing each other to death. So to counteract that, if you had like speed and flying things, then your opponent would just collapse because they couldn't attack you because you were behind them. and I mean that. Like those games were like, if I was playing Wood Elves, I think I had a 100% win rate with Wood Elves. Because no one was prepared for, oh no, I'm behind you now. What do you do? And the answer is, when you've got massive blocks of troops that are like, 10 wide and 5 deep, you do nothing, you lose. Chaos, RC Sigma, I know I can beat you at dwarves. Bro, I've never seen you play dwarves. You've played fake dwarves a lot. Never seen you play dwarves. Not even once. Nah. So, I ran Demonet Death Star. 50 Demonettes in a huge block. Keeper of Secrets, Fiends, Seekers. Damn. Fiends and Seekers, you're getting around. You are getting around. Now, I had way too much fun launching, I had like 2 or 3 actual chariots and then 2 or 3 of the lawnmower chariots. They were a nightmare to transport and to paint and also to build. And it was just slam into things and just blend them just into paste. It was hilarious. I remember one game where my opponent had a big block of Skaven clan rats with a bell in the middle, and I managed to get a gyrocopter with flame temple. Oh no! Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, that's bad. I remember playing Beasts of Chaos. This was during the big stone, right? You could a mixture of big stone and sacrificial dagger to basically sacrifice gauze to get shit tons of magic dice and just cast spells like it's mad, like, completely like a madman. It was wonderful. The real joy was the Doom Bull, though. Doom Bull with like the right setup was almost immortal. It was like a 1+ rerollable armor save with a ward save, and every time you passed a save, you got a free attack. Now, he was like a strength 6 armor piercing, great weaponed up like murder hobo. So you would run him in by himself because you want as many attacks as possible on him and not on his unit. So you didn't have a unit. You just run him into like, into like 50 plague rats with the big old plague furnace, right? You plonk. Or even like a Slan and Temple Guard, right? You slam this guy into them. He can't die. Is rerollable 1+ save made sure he just couldn't die. And every time they attacked, you would attack back. Plus, you got a 6 attack space. So you just got in there, impact hits, you got your stomps, you got to then blend yourself, and you got attacked. It didn't matter because it was bouncing off you into more attacks. You could kill entire, like, 50, 60 man blobs solo in like 2 turns. It was hilarious. I dubbed him the Indestructible, and it was truly the best of times. It was so funny. And then occasionally you'd catch a cannonball at the head and die. But that's how it works in Fantasy Battle. Ah, yes, the headstone plus 5 Brave Shaman meta. Yeah, that was a time. The Brave Shaman meta was insane. Man, dude, it was amazing. It was absolutely bonkers. I'm sure it was like a mix. It was like the Ram Horn Helm, I think it was called, that caused the whole damage thing. But you get rerollable saves and everything. It was insane. He was a menace. In fact, in my God, what was it? On my original YouTube channel, okay, which is now defunct and doesn't exist, I had a video with one of my friends at the time, and it was how many slaves it took, Skaven slaves it took to kill an indestructible, and I legitimately he had like 400 slaves, and he just piled them in, and he killed all of them over like 10 turns. Just killed every single one of them to the man. It was insane. 100 clan was costing 400 points in the earth and didn't break other units. Yes, and because of their rule, strength in numbers or whatever it was, the more ranks you had, the higher your leadership. So the more ranks you had, the higher the leadership. So they never broke either, because they had insane leadership until they were dead. It was stupid, and slaves were like 2 points a model. I'm sure. So you could take 100 slaves for like 200 points. It was stupid. Skaven were absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers in 8th. Like, they needed their like war machines to really do the work, because their clan rats and their slaves just got mulched by anything. But yeah, the sheer numbers were insane. They all had the Law of Shadows. You picked the basic spell, Melkos, Mystify Miasma, and debuffed your opponent's entire army for free. Oh, you love it. Oh, speaking of Shadow, dropping a Pit of Shades or in Death, the purple son of Xerxes, or Xerxes, maybe, onto ogres or dwarfs, and just launching it down a flank and deleting a whole army instantly. It felt so bad, but it felt so right. I know you hate them, but I'm bringing ogres to my next Warcry tourney. Do it, dude. I am so into ogres right now because the new models are so good. I wouldn't hate ogres. Like, I actually quite like ogres. I think they're funky. I think they could do with a rework to make them a bit more interesting. The new models are absolutely stunning, and I am tempted myself to run ogres. That's for sure. Nedden, I just loved when a dice roll decided a game, like Black Orcs fumbling the charge and standing right on the corner of Cassandra. Yes. Yeah. Oh, it was so good. And the comment of Cassandra was insane. That was just like it took so much setup. It took a whole turn to arrive, and sometimes it would just fail to arrive. But like when it landed, it landed. The tower mission in the last round, the 13th spell turned the elves in the tower to rats. Dude, Warhammer Fantasy, right? It was unhinged, right? 8th edition was unhinged. It wasn't balanced. It was broken as in every way. Like, every faction was broken in their own unique little way. Like, it was such. And then the magic expansion came out, a Cataclysm of Magic. My God, like 8th was so much fun. It was stupid. Nothing quite worked, but it was such a fun time. Such a fun time. Peak Games Workshop. Was Skaven Warplank Canning deleting a Vermin Lord? Yep. The Doom Wheel debuted in 8th, right? The Doom Wheel. Like, just a fucking hamster wheel with lightning cannons. You had no control over its movement. It just went wherever it wanted to go. Hilarious. Entire boards were taken up by slave blocks, never broke, and then just sat in the middle of the board the whole game while warp lightning cannons and engineers just talk. Dude, engineers, the Doom Rocket. Just pulling out a doom rocket at your ass. Like sometimes it would just kill all your guys because it misfired. Other times, massive power plate, strength 5, just clears a whole unit. Hilarious. I had a Grace here with the Dread 13th, and it was good game unless you had a Slan with Dwellers below. Honestly. 8th was truly broken. Truly, truly broken. In the best possible way. I miss it dearly. I don't think I'll play it again. I try to sort of like relive that nostalgia. I've got a video coming up about nostalgia, but I try to relive that nostalgia of the old world. And before I even finished my first project, I was like, man, I think I've been conned into buying from nostalgia, because like that time's passed. I don't think I've heard the old world is actually legitimately amazing. It's a really good system. But I think like the time for me to be in that space was like 15 years ago. And I think that's now past for me. And I don't think I can quite get back into it in the same way I did. And chasing it is probably not healthy. So, yeah. Skaven are the greatest thing Games Workshop ever invented. Skaven are. The fact that, like, what I like, so, when people ask if where's Skaven in 40k, it's a legitimate question, right? Because like it is the greatest creation of Skaven. Why aren't there like future tech Skaven? And the answer is actually apparent. Future tech Skaven is Mechanicus. They just the Skaven won and just evolved to become humans, and lived on Mars. So silly, so deadly, sometimes always hilarious. You damn right. The only old Skaven I have is the last Metal Icked Claw, and I love him. I love him crazy. I love the crazy bomb rat. Yeah, so good. I truly believe 8th would have been financially successful if they sold 60+ unit kits for like £40. Everybody needs them. Yeah, God. Yeah, Skaven are God. You're right. But no, you're absolutely correct. Like, it was the push to hordes, as opposed to like 20 to 25 man little like square blocks, was visually very appealing, but financially it was so expensive to get armies going, because it basically doubled the cost of every army and also doubled the workload just to get them on the fucking field. So it was very difficult to actually get into like into 8th if you weren't already invested in the fantasy system. And if they had a more efficient like way of like, if they cut into their profits a bit to make them more affordable, but they sold like 100 times more kits. Come on, that's what they should have done. They could have easily made it a bit cheaper to get these massive hordes on the field. On top of that, of course, you've got to factor in the whole thing that the game, it's released at a time where Games Workshop were not supporting anything effectively. They weren't, like, the actual like release cycle was amateurish at best, especially compared to modern Games Workshop. So whole factions within 40k and fantasy could go entire editions without new books, and editions were longer. Editions weren't 3 years, they were like 5 to 7 years in some cases, right? So you would go like a decade and not receive a new iBook. So you weren't, or even new models. Like Britannia got their plastics in like 3rd or 4th, maybe 5th, right? In like 5th edition, let's say. Oh, okay, probably 6th. We'll say 6th, be safe. Britannia got their plastics in 6th and then didn't get anything else. Anything else. No books, no models until the old world. Wild. Yay, I caught a wild toast stream. Glad to see you again, Mr. Streamer, dude. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. Yeah, and then those same huge blocks would get totally deleted by ridiculous magic. Dwellers, Bjorn's Dreaded, yeah, the 13th, Purple Sun. You just put down 50 model units and then they disappear with one cast in one turn, and then your entire army is fleeing. Yep. It was a wacky time. absolutely wacky time. Um, and it like as I think like the competitiveness of any game, I think, kind of ruins a lot of like the fun a little bit. I find that competitive can often competitively focused things can kind of ruin the fun. And games workshop games are moving slowly more competitive, right? So when you saw things like Purple Sun and Giant Hordes, well, people brought Giant Hordes and they were running Purple Sun. So it was like the most competitive way to play fantasy was to have things that were truly unfun to play with if you're going for like tournament wins and to be hyper competitive. But from a this is stupid shit perspective, beer and pretzels, it was hilarious. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous fun, but also incredibly stupid. Absolutely. The most cinematic edition for sure, but not the most economically viable. No, it absolutely wasn't. The terrain was wonderful though. The terrain they released for 8th is still to this day some of my favorite terrain that Games Workshop have ever released for any fantasy game. It's just so much fun to play with, and you could tell that it was good terrain and fun terrain because it was I didn't have. So I used to play all of my games at a Games Workshop back then because I didn't have the space to play at home. So I didn't have terrain apart from fantasy terrain because it was so cool. I just wanted to have it. The cool the stairway with the cool like fucking the lightning tornado, the tornado magic tornado with the plinth and stuff, like the blood shrine. It was so good. And cavalry was completely useless apart from the special cases like blood. Yeah. Cavalry struggled. Although, I would like to correct you. Heavy cavalry struggled. Light cavalry was insane. Light cavalry was wild. Like Glade Riders. I'll throw in like chuddy things like Chaos Hounds, Great Eagles, Warhawk Riders, Seekers from Slaanesh, right? Any fast cavalry was a nightmare to deal with because it was so fast. They were so fast. You can get behind you, do nasty things. You could do all kinds of like tricky angling to force unpleasant rotations. Like there was a lot of sneaky movement you could do with light cavalry to absolutely bone somebody. I never mind playing people trying to win. The issue is when winning supersedes fun, because then it's just a job I'm paying for. Yeah, like I think there's a balance between like I think most people play a game with the intent to probably win that game. Okay, like these are competitive games, right? There is an element of competition that is inherent with it, right? So you would expect that you play, you kind of want to win. But I do think that the competitive mindset, the ever forward push to find or use the most optimal can often result in a lot of the fun being drowned out in any system. It's not just a Games Workshop issue. It's not just a fantasy or a Warcry or a Kill Team or whatever. It's in every game. I find that the fun you can optimize out the enjoyment from a game, and I find that I often struggle with that and never wanting to like as Felix would say, yuck on anyone's yum, right? I don't want to dictate what other people find fun, because that's very subjective. People who optimize aggressively may find that to be where a lot of their fun from the hobby comes from. I just find it coming from, personally, from mechanical interactions, and from theme, right? Getting something that I've created on the board that is to a theme and getting that theme to work, right? Like, I think when I was doing 40k videos before the Great Backlash. It was how to make a narratively coherent army that is competitively viable, right? So it might not win events, it might not win every game, but it can work on the tabletop, and it's built to a theme that you or I find interesting or fun. And that's how I like to build my lists. Which is why when I see people remove all their torch wraiths from Pyregeists, that comes from the optimizing mindset. They're optimizing, they look at the profile and go, this is not a optimal profile in Pyregeists. These have to be cut for something more optimal. But then those same people will complain, but I can't make Pyre tokens. And I think Pyre tokens aren't hard to make if you have a torch wraith, right? So the optimized out, one, the whole mechanic, and also optimized out some of the fun. Apply this to a lot of factions, right? Any bespoke faction, you can find this where it's like, oh, well, why would you take XYZ when you can take like 3 flame hurlers? Because the flame hurlers are way more optimal. Or why would you take the hammer desecrator and Jade Obelisk? Well, because the pick is more optimal, it's more viable. But yeah, but the hammer looks cool. The hammer looks cool, and big number fun, right? Toast, why would you ever take the Liege Cavalos and Ossiarch? He's a 300.80mm pie with mounted. He can't move. Yeah, but he looks cool if he's a Tomb King Chariot proxy. Literally the only reason I took it. Right? Tomb King Chariots were fun, and Tomb King Skirmish yes, definitely. Tomb King Chariots were so much fun. I loved them. They were made of paper, and they couldn't really kill anything that was like heavily armored, but against like light or medium armored things, so we just blend through them. They were a wonderful counter to elite infantry, because this might come as a shocker to a lot of people who play modern stuff. So in 8th edition, you would find that elite infantry were often not more armored than basic guys, because they would sacrifice. Oh, well, I could have armor and a shield and an axe, right? And I am fairly durable because I have all this protection. Okay, I can parry with the sword. I've got the shield for blocking, and I've got the armor on. Well, elite infantry nearly always sacrificed the shield for a giant 2-handed big weapon, so they had more damage output because they were elite and cool, but their actual defenses were quite low. So you could barrel in a unit of chariots into hyper elite infantry and just blend through them because they had no armor. It was great. Because it was like, oh, well, a heavy armor in fantasy was only a 5+ save. You would need a shield to go to a 4+ save, or specialized chaos armor to go have like a built-in 4+ save. It was quite difficult to get high armor saves on infantry. Like you capped out at like a 3 on the very, very best, and these guys had shields and didn't have like actual damage output. If you wanted damage output, you had to sacrifice your defenses heavily to get damage output, or have heavy cavalry, which could do it. Speaking of, I want to make something new for Skaven. Wouldn't mind feedback. Be it or dad, throw it over. Let's have a look at some Skaven stuff. I'm not quite as well versed in Skaven as other warbands. I can give it a go. And this is largely because I don't think I've played Skaven ever. I think that's not true. I've played them for Wheel Cry. There you go. Skaven for Wheel Cry. It was a pretty funky game I forgot what I was up against, but I had a Grey Seer who went absolutely bonkers on a Warpstone. It was hilarious. Oh boy. Also, I find Musketeer, by the way, Musketeer to be like one of the least used reactions. Like, this might be because when Skaven was super popular, by the way, people were playing them largely because they had access to really good rat ogres, which were very powerful. So a lot of the nuance of Skaven was lost because rat ogre's good. So things like reactions were kind of like looked over. Musketeer is legitimately really good. It's really, really good. White Whale, true. That's why Saurus and Chaos Warriors were the most cost-effective core troops in 8th. Yes, because they had heavy armor, or chaos armor, or heavy armor. So it had chaos armor and shields, or it was heavy armor with scaly skin, which was the same, and shields. Yeah, they were quite difficult to shift. And also, the Temple Guard and Saurus Warriors and stuff, they had like stubborn and stuff, so you were never going to break. Absolute dickheads, a lot of them. Skabic, Scritch, Ashen Elder, the Warplock, Hungering, Festering, Lurking, 2 Stormvermin with shields. I want long range gun, and I care little if it's optimal. Well, so right off the bat, it looks good. It looks interesting, but let's get them all on here. This is such a big faction, Jesus Christ. We have Scritch, we have Lurking, Hungering, and Festering Skaven. We have Skabic, because Skabic is good. We go to our heroes. For our, what's it called? The Warplock, right? Not the Warlock. Is it a hero? No, it can't be a hero, because you've got 3 heroes. What? Is it a Giselle? The Warplock Giselle? Must be. We'll put it in for now. Warplock. And then 2 Stormvermin with shield. We're going to find those. Stormvermin with shield. Bonk bonk. Oh, we've got a whole vampire guy still in here. Like, how 1,000 points? What's going on? Bonk bonk. Torch Wraiths, be gone. Be gone. Be gone. We're getting there. Give it time. There we go. Right, so you also wanted... are you going to do a video on the City of Ash warbands? I did a bit of a reaction stream to the announcement. But like without rules for them, there's not really much to talk about. I don't think they were meant to be Warcry warbands necessarily. I would love to see. I would absolutely love to see some rules for the new guys. I think Grenadiers could really make Cities of Sigmar interesting, and I think that reworking Skaven, so it's maybe splits into clans or has a more interesting take on Clan Eshin would be really cool. New Deathmaster as well, kind of cool. Right, so we have Skabic, Ashen Elder, Scritch Spikeclaw, Warplock Giselle. Now, I think so I don't know what the best way. I think with Skabic, I think you give Skabic +1 strength, right? So he goes to a 4-4-2-4 and just goes for a blend time. He goes to blend town. You've got resurrections on Scritch, and then you play with the Warplock Giselle. The Ashen Elder, I need to remind myself what it does. I know it's a triple. +1 attack and strength. Ooh, okay. So my boy, there's a world where you put +1 strength on the Warplock Giselle, so he's actually a strength 6 with the blast, with the buff. But 2 shots, strength 5 or 6, 410. That's a profile. Like, you pop off with that combo at 20-inch range. Yeah, you made a paper, but you got 20-inch range with 4 shots at like 410 damage. Like, that's hilarious. That's so much fun. Like, dude, this could totally work. Like, you have the core backbone of Skaven, the back here, right? You've got the 9 guys, which is a bit light, but 9 is fine. 9 guys with resurrections. You've lost your trait, but you've still got resurrections on Scritch. You've got Stormvermin, who are durable at T5, and off meta, I love Stormvermin. I agree, they're actually very good. You can Musk of Fear to skedaddle and play Keep Away. You have the Ashen Eldar, who has a Wizard Bolt as a secondary source of range power. And of course, this Warplock Jazeel is just pick a guy and blow them the fuck up. Like, assuming you're hitting on a 3, with those 4 shots, it's basically pick anything with like 12 wounds or less, and it dies. And if you get lucky and like pop like even a single crit, it's like anything with like 18 wounds or less dies, maybe 20 if you get a bit lucky, right? And if you go absolutely insane and like double 6 something, and you roll like double 6, you're popping off like 20 damage base just in the crits. It's hilarious. You're going with the whole will to go on an arbalista, right? It's just a fun time. No, I can see this working really well. If you can keep the Warplock Jazeel alive, and out of combat and safe, you're going to be laughing to the bank. Absolutely laughing. And of course, when Scabbit's running interference as well, when Scabbit's on the prowl, depending on where you put that Strength's Blessing, you could put it on the Jazeel, you could put it on Skabbic. It works in either way. I think it works pretty well for both. This is a fun list. I can see having one doing really well, and two actually being an absolute joy to play. Because I've been trying to find, the Jazeel equivalent in Stormcast is the giant, the Knight Judicature or something with a massive bow. Trying to get him to work is quite difficult. It's much easier now with Skaven because the options are cheaper and easier to interact with. But yeah, big old 410 profiles at range is really, really fun. I quite like it, especially now that now that the world has recovered slightly from the abuses of Caradron Overlord's Aether Cannon spam from early 2nd edition. Because Aether Cannon spam was just, with full powered fight for profit, access to WA back then. WA was in Caradron with a 510 profile, and you would do it cheap enough that you could take 2 or 3 of them and just gunline with 1,000 pistols and 3 Aether Cannons. That wasn't fun. That was not fun at all. But with one Jazeel has been buffed by National Elder, that's a fun time. Absolutely fun time. I stand behind that. If you wanted an alternative, the Ashen Elder isn't that much more expensive than taking a second Jazeel instead. So you need to find 10 points, so you won't be able to bless anything. But 2 Jazeels is an option, and it frees up your triple game and unlocks your battle trait, so you can revive things back on the board. So there's a bit of wiggle room there. Yeah, literally, a second Jazeel. It gets you the same effect of getting 4 shots off. It's just spread over 2 activations, but the Ashen Elder was already forcing 2 activations to get the effect off anyway, because you had to do the Ashen Elder first, to buff, to then fire. So it's another way of doing it, and it activates your battle trait, which could be useful. But also, the Warplock Jazeels are much worse defensively, and they don't have any melee threat. So the Ashen Elder at least gives you some kind of deterrent. So there's pros and cons. To that variant. But yes, I would love to see a Jazeel list. It'd be really, really fun. Other than that, though, I am not hugely up on Skaven. There was a new. Was it this guy? He's a new guy. The 205. What does he do? He's 205 points for 18 wounds and a 24-inch gun. 2-5. What's your business, bro? What are you doing? He's Warp Lightning. That's fun. Okay. Pick a visible enemy fighter with an 18. For the rest of this fighter's activation, subtract the value of this ability from the toughness characteristic of the enemy. Okay. If the fighter is not moved and the value of this ability is equal to or greater than the unmodified toughness, count each hit scored from the next attack as a crit. And then get knocked backwards. Okay, that's terrible. That's so bad. Okay. So you've got to have a greater. Okay, yeah, so. Okay, equal or greater. So toughness 4 things, you crit easier on one shot. So you're looking at like probably like 5 to 10, 7, maybe 7 to 10 damage on a triple on a 205 point model. Oof. Tick tick is their big thing. Rules is written you can have unlimited tick ticks. I remember tick tick being an issue. I remember tick tick being an issue. Tick tick, my boy. Let's have a look at you. Let us weep. We have tick tick. So rules is written. Currently, you can only have one tick tick. In your starting roster, of course. I'll add the rest in just in case their ability is hidden somewhere else. Let's have a look. Tick tick. If your tick tick is taken down and is listed on your warband roster, set up a friendly tick tick within 1. That tick tick can. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I'm guessing is yeah. So is it this? So I'm guessing the idea is if your tick tick dies, you can then is the argument that you can then resurrect infinite tick ticks from that one dead tick tick. Because yeah, I can see that. I'm not gonna lie. Like I ain't gonna be happy if someone pulls that in my game because it's like, yeah, I know, like I'm aware it's not technically a resurrection, but like, come on now, this is the kind of thing where when I was saying people optimize the fun out of the games. Yeah, but if your tick tick is taken down, you set up a friendly tick tick, not set up this friendly tick tick. So it's fucking stupid. Like rules is written, yeah, you could actually resurrect infinite tick ticks. However, rules is intended, go in the bin. That's what I'll say. This is the kind of sort of like, come on now, guys, really. Go and do this? Go and do this today? I don't think so. And it's one of those rules where you can tell it can't be this tick tick because that rat doesn't get the ability. Of course it does. Oh, okay. Okay. Are we going down like a rabbit hole of like I didn't see someone actually try to use this in an IRL game. Yeah, I mean, yeah. On the plus side, tick tick will always count for kill points. You can't resurrect tick tick because tick tick stays dead. Yeah, we all know what they mean. But your tick tick is still taken down. Yeah, so you can see this is the kind of thing, right? So rules writing, there's a great video by Sam that came out about technical rules writing, right? Is that it's actually very difficult to write a rule in a way that's like intended to work in every way, right? And like I think it's very clear what the intent is. Very, very clear. Yeah, but it's a different tick. So when your tick dies, Aitan, it never comes back. It's always dead, forever triggering more ticks. Because that makes sense, right? Like, it's very silly. It's very, very silly. Boo hiss, boo hiss. We don't do this. Nah. Like, I would pull a TO. I would pull a TO. I would get on the line to John Bracken. I've got him on speed dial. Hand him to the TO. And then it'll go my way. True, the intent is one, and outside of Reddit, I've never seen it. Yeah. I think, yeah. I can imagine. I have seen many things in my time. Many things in my time. I can imagine someone will try and someone has pulled this in real life. That person shouldn't have kneecaps. Taking that back. Yeah, this is a call the TO over. Call the TO over. Get it sorted out because like rules as written, frankly, can go in the bin sometimes. And when Warcry is so sparsely updated, like teeny tiny little errors in wording or interpretations won't get fixed for a long time, if ever. So like allowing this kind of thing to like be rampant, it shouldn't. It should be culled at a community level. True, the intent is one, and I was 100%. Very silly. Goddamn tick. Goddamn. That being said, tick is also great. I fucking love tick. Like as an actual model, it's so fun. But my favorite model remains to be Squat. Tick wishes he could be Squat. Squat is the best model. Like, have you seen my boy 2222? The best profile to ever. It's beautiful. It could only be better if it was range 2. If it was a range 2, 2222, amazing. If it was toughness 2 with movement 2 as well, with 2 wounds, come on now. For 22 points, that's a theme. But Squat is amazing. Like, Squats is my favorite model because Bro can squat too hard and die. Like, his sucking proboscis is just the stupidest rule. I love it. Pick a visible enemy fighter. Roll a dice. Allocate a number of dice at damage points equal to the roll. If you do 5 or more, you die. He squats too hard and dies. It's so good. It's my favorite thing. If you play Nurgle Demons, it is a requirement by Toast Law that you have to take Squat. Not only is he, I think, the cheapest model in Nurgle Demons, he is. And so is Slunge, I guess. He's also the most fun. Like, you have to. Just go in there and squat away. Like, I would like sucking proboscis, sucking proboscis. I would be rolling this dice twice a turn until Squad kills himself. It's the only way. It is the only way. But I think it was Elaine. Elaine ran the Grandfather's Gardeners at, I think it was Tabletop Scotland last year. They had a Vex one there as well to make them a bit better. But the Grandfather's Gardeners are legitimately quite good. Really, really good. Plus the models are gross. And their names are amazing. Like, just fucking Bug-Eyed Dripteris, Slunge, Maggoty Stroog, and Squat. Beautiful. Oh my god, Phylax is ready! It's time. It's time to duel. Let's go Atem. Is his name Atem from Yu-Gi-Oh? Let's get the Pyre guy set. So honestly, right, I'm expecting to just see the most like disgusting list from Phylax. Truly gross. And I can't wait. I'll tell you what. Let's take 2 of you, 3 of you, and we'll take some range 1 Flame Wraiths. Fuck it. No. I'm going to do what I said, which was 1 of each. With staff. Beautiful. Phylax, I will get I'll jump into a chat. I assume you're there. You know, I'll jump into recording booth 1. Dude, Beardo Dad, thank you again. Thanks again for bringing this back, even if it's limited. Good to ramble about these things, dude. I have missed this so much. Like, just rambling is just what I do. But like, I love rambling. Like, I bring great rage to my wife because I'll ramble to her. I might as well be less upset and upset her less by rambling to everyone else. And thank you again for the donation, man. It means the world, man. Seriously. So yes, Steam's open now. Phylax, you are quiet because my headset's off. I assume the chat can hear you. Hang on, I've turned on the headset.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Chat, can you hear Phylax? I will check.
Hello.
Oh, say something, Phylax. Phylax, say something. Phylax.
Hey, buddy.
There you go. Beautiful. You are definitely being picked up on OBS. It's a good time. So Steam is now open. Oh shit! What's my password? Fuck. It's been so long since I've been on Steam. It's signed us out.
You've muted yourself, so I can't hear you.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah, you've muted yourself, so I can't hear you.
Okay.
On the recording booth.
I know why. Chat. Is that better?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, it's because when I turn my headphones on, Steam defaults my headset to my microphone.
Awesome.
Enter the code from your email address. What the fuck?
Sorry?
Oh, God. So I have not been on Steam for so long, it's signed us out, and I need a code that I don't even know I have anymore.
Yeah, it does that.
Fuck. Dude, what do you mean?
Let me very quickly be like, I understand why the person that brought it up, but also,
yeah,
it's exactly the kind of shit that I'm allergic to as a TO, because
yes,
we can't just be going, well, it's written this way. Yes, it is written this way. It's written badly. And whoever you use it against is going to have such a terrible time. There's every chance it won't want to play again. So what's more important?
Yeah.
And again, this isn't anything to do with the Beardo Dad who brought it up. Like, it's I understand why, like, people need to locate these things and be like, this is stupidly written, so that we can shout at them until they fix it. But also there is a part of us that needs to be like, and also we're gonna FAQ it in our own tournament. That's why since last year I have a line that says if you mention infinite ticks to TO, you get -1 points. And I stand by that.
Okay, so I have an issue. This issue is I can't sign into my goddamn Steam. Because
that's not good.
Enter the code from your email address, which is
Did I send you another one? Because it does it sometimes.
It's not receiving them. Like, I'm on the email address because I've only got one at Games with Toasty. It's not coming through.
Have you checked your spam? Because sometimes it's helpful like this.
Yeah, I've checked my spam. It's not there.
I mean, I don't mind because it means I have time to eat. So.
Yes. This is truly upsetting on a catastrophic level. Unless it's on a different email for some fucking reason. It shouldn't be. I only have 3. It's not hard. I checked them all.
Doesn't it tell you?
It does. As it says, enter the code from your email address at, and it doesn't tell you the full email address. It just says the last bit. I'm like, okay, that's cool and all, but It doesn't exist. So,
What doesn't exist?
the email they've sent us. I've checked all my inboxes on all my email accounts. And it's not there. Oh no. Help, I no longer have access to my email address. Steam Guard emails are sent to the last email address registered. Uh-huh.
Wait up. The email doesn't exist? Because maybe it's just delayed.
It shouldn't be.
No, sometimes like if there's quite a lot of people, or if it's like one of Steam's like fun times, it just takes forever for the emails to come through.
I mean, that's irritating. I'm going to try one more time. And I'm going to use the QR code this time to get on. Just... I don't have the Steam mobile app, I don't think, actually. So that won't even help. Steam. I do not. Hey. What a fucking drama. Legit tempted to make a new Steam account, right? And buy TTS to get around this bullshit.
No, don't do that.
Are you able to check what my email address is on my actual if you like go in, click on me on your Steam? Does it tell you what my email address is?
Give me a sec. I'll have a look. I was gonna say, is this where I find out that you never friended me?
Maybe. Sorry, champ. We're going through. We're having a troublesome time. I get emails about like, yo, there's offers on from your Steam wish list. I'm like, sweet, bro. That's so cool. I'm so glad you sent us that, but I don't know like where they come from, or what email address to go into, because I don't click them.
No, it doesn't show me.
That's fine. I'm going to do some investigation. Steam.
I was gonna say, should I put my camera on and then I'll just do like a little song and dance while you're sorting that out?
That's a good idea. That is a good idea. Oh, that's old. Jesus. What account's this? Wild. I'm getting like fucking... Because I've got two Steam accounts. One's like really old that I can't access anymore, so I made a new one. Because it was from like 20 years ago.
Right.
Blast from the blast when that email address popped up with that username. Hot diggity. Do I get any... Okay, Steam. Yes, I definitely get Steam emails to this this address. I just don't know why I'm not getting a sign in. Like enter the code from your email address.
So annoying.
It's fucking infuriating, dude. What do you mean?
Because you know that it is that. Like, I don't think your account is like locked or anything. I think it's just for some reason it's.
Yeah, I haven't been on it in months. So it signed us out, but it won't let us sign back in. I am so irritated by this. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna make a new account and buy fucking and just buy TTS on it.
I mean, I know this is gonna sound stupid, but you have asked it to resend you the code, yeah?
There's not even a button for it. I've literally just clicked off it and went back in it again. Like it shut down Steam, then went back into it for it to sort of like generate a new one. I assume. But there's no button to like send a new one. It just says enter the code from your email address, which is not helpful. As far as I'm aware, this is the email address.
Chat, any ideas?
Yeah, chat, save us. Save us from Steam's fucking stupidity. Legit. Fuck it. I am going to mayhaps hang on. Oh,
What's the second part of your what's that? Is it a Hotmail account or Live or Outlook?
it's a personalized one. It's Games with Toasty.
Right. Okay. Yeah. All right.
So it's like
That's right.
at Games with Toasty. Okay, so I'm gonna get the mobile. I don't actually. Hello.
Someone did say you have to add no reply at Steam Powered and support the Steam Powered to your trusted spam.
How the fuck do I even do this? Is like next level fucking tech stuff, bro.
I mean, you did try your spam folders, yeah?
I did. Right. Look, we're going to get there maybe eventually, guys. Right, so
I was going to say, do you want me to?
Steam Guard emails are sent to the last email address registered from your Steam account. If you're not receiving Steam Guard emails, verify that you're accessing the email address. I think I am. Check your email spam filter to ensure the message is not flagged as spam. There is nothing in my spam. Add support at Steam Powered and no reply at Steam Powered to your contacts or trusted senders list within. Why would that matter?
Because it might have a rule where it auto deletes rather than keep them. The fact that your spam folder is empty tells me that either there's no way you're not getting any spam. Like I'm getting spam.
When was the last email I got in this, by the way? Oh fuck. My last email on here was fucking 22. Dude. This isn't even an active inbox anymore, that's why. Fuck.
That explains that.
Yeah, because it was linked to my email address, to my website. But I stopped paying for it because I stopped writing for it. Bollocks. I don't even know how to resolve that issue. Yeah, so my Steam's tied to to an email address that is not actually active anymore. Fuck. Okay. Okay. I don't think we're gonna have a game today, lads and ladies. Because I need to sort this shit out.
So you need to get in touch with them, and they will. If you remember, they'll ask you verification questions that have nothing to do with email.
Yeah.
And I think if you explain that, they change it over. They double check and triple check and all that. But yeah,
that is not something I can do on stream, sadly. Phylax.
Yes.
Thank you for coming along. It was nice to talk to you.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, no, that's fine. I've got a busy evening, so this works.
Yeah.
But yeah, before I go, Tickets to the tournaments at Tabletop Scotland, both the narrative on the Saturday and the match play on Sunday, are on the website. Plug in,
Excellent.
plug in, plug in. Um,
I'll be going to that.
Go have a look. Sign up early, please, because I last time I had like 14 sign-ups the week before, and it's really difficult to do anything with that a week before. So yeah, like come along. It's gonna be genuinely. I'm not even joking, and I'm not hyping it just to hype it. It's gonna be the best tournament I've ever put together. We're gonna have new terrain. We're gonna have a fully custom narrative campaign by Badger, and the match play is gonna be like just really well documented, and there's gonna be loads of pictures. And I'm not even trying streaming anymore. I'm just gonna be going around and getting a lot of footage. It's gonna be sick.
It's going to
And
be
Toast,
awesome.
you're coming. Yeah, you're gonna be
Yeah.
here for both days.
Yes, it's during the summer holidays, right?
It is first weekend of September.
Yes, school start like on the 9th. So yeah,
I will kidnap you.
I can go to both. If it was a yeah, no, well, it's fine. I'll manage it.
It's fine. We'll bring the whole
I'll
Toasty
figure it-
family because they're gonna have a
I'll-
great time.
I'll
So
figure it out. It'll be fine. Yes, I'll be there, and it'll be great. Phalax runs the best tournaments.
I do my best,
And
but this one
I'm
is
not just saying that because I have like an Olympic like wreath of medals that I've won from.
yeah. I've given you a lot of resin over the years, but no, it's no, genuinely, like I'm very excited. Like there's every tournament we've put on is like better than the last, and that's just kind of, it has come from a point of like small incremental changes.
Yeah.
And then this time I am like, we literally sat down after the last one and had a lessons learned, and like we are so serious about making this shit like top tier. So yeah, come join us.
Yes, absolutely. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic time. To both as well. Hello. Do you have any meme lists you have not yet showed, Toast?
A good question.
No, not that I can think of. The one that I really want to run one day is to run Hell Pit Abomination Cypher Lords, because you can teleport the Hell Pit with Cypher
I
Lords.
fucking knew you were gonna say that.
That's the one that I've been threatening to run for a long time, but I have yet to actually to do it. If I was to run it, I would actually do it with Skaven proxies, like the new clan Eshin, as the proxies for the Cypher Lords, and then the actual Hell Pit because it's Skaven, and teleport around. That'd be a meme list. You can only hit 6 models, so it's a little bit light. But teleporting around like a 400.410 beta is hilarious. So try that one out. But I am going to end the stream about now. Thank you for popping along. I am going to get Steam sorted out. So for the next stream, we can actually get games in. Because that was an unexpected.
That is, I know that your account is like full of games as well, so like you do need to sort that out.
Dude, this is like the second account that I've lost. I couldn't access it. So my original Steam account. Okay, actually not. So because I was a journalist, so my original account is legitimately 20 years old, and because I was a journalist, I got access to a whole bunch of a library of games I got to keep. I have about 5,000 games on that account.
Yeah, you need that.
My current account has less than that because I can't access that old one for similar reasons.
Oh no! Yeah. Well, I mean, 2 in 1.
Keeps on happening, man. I keep on making Steam accounts and then losing access to them. It's terrible. So yes, I will
Oh,
have to sort all this out, and then back to TTS, and I'll get use Pyregeists. I'm pining for them. I've got a box of them ready to go. Uh,
woo.
so they're going to Storm the South. So Storm the South is going to be that's one of Alex's tournaments. Um,
Yes.
if you can go to Southampton, it's going to be a great time. Absolutely great time. You can find Storm the South 3. You can find that on Eventbrite. It's like £15 for a ticket. It'll be the best £15 you've ever spent. I'll be there.
Yep.
Falax will be there. I
Yep.
think off Meta can make it because he's London's close to Southampton. I think he'll be there as well,
Yep.
potentially. Although he can confirm himself. And yeah, it was great last year. It was going to be great this year as well. And I'm running Pyregeist to that one box, which will be probably the biggest challenge I've ever set myself. Even though I'm not intending to win, I'm intending to go 2-2 in that one. But it'll be a good time.
Nice. It's the 8th of August, yeah?
Yes, 8th of
I think so,
August
yeah,
for
yeah.
Storm the South 3.
Also, for a little bit of a shout, there's going to be a narrative one later in the year as well. But
There
like
is.
this one's the one that we're going to be all absolutely gunning for the top because I am working out of spite, so I'm bringing probably Fire Slayers, but I'm bringing a C tier warband and trying to make it all the way to the top. So that's gonna be fun.
That's the way you do it, man. That's the way you do it. Give the like D tiers. That's where you meme it. You meme in the D tiers. You flex in the C tiers.
I mean, I might just go for a D tier then. Like, I'm just the best motivation is spite for me. And there's nothing that I love more than taking something that everyone's like, no, that'll never work.
Corn demons.
Well, I mean, my first claim to fame was the Warrior Chamber, so you know, I'm still chasing that high.
Yeah, for sure. What another comment here? I'm already planning on going to both Southampton. Let's go!
Nice.
That's Sam Knowles, legend. We'll see you there, Sam. Hopefully, we'll have a. Honestly, we went to. So it's a 3-hour train to like Newcastle, and then like a 7-hour drive to Southampton.
Yeah.
For the road trip, right? It's a massive like journey for me and Fax to go. It was
Yeah.
an amazing road trip followed by like an amazing event. It was fantastic. It was so much fun last year. And
like
we both got slammed. We didn't do well.
Oh god, yeah. No. We had a terrible time. Well, I brought Warrior Chamber again, but I wasn't like prepared because the thing is with Warrior Chamber, like good players will just work around them. But for me, it's excellent because like I don't drive the train and I don't drive the car either. So I'm just sitting there just yapping for like 10 hours, and I just appreciate your patience. As you sit there, both driving and listening to me just talk absolute shite for hours. So
Dude,
yeah,
we can go into Murfield again. There's he's moved
100%.
venue. He's moved venue.
He's just around the corner.
If anyone, by the way, is on the way to Southampton from the north, divert your journey through Murfield and go to Murfield Miniatures because as a retailer of secondhand pre-used pre-loved models, you don't get much better than Murfield. Like I got my entire Sacrosanct warband, and loads of spares for like under £10, which includes like Averon and his whole warband and a bunch of like Liberators with like hammers and shields and two-handed hammers and stuff. It was crazy. It was so good, and a cat to get a prime. Wild. It does everything from like it has like things from Malifaux, from War Machine, from 40k, Age of Sigmar, anything you'd want to be there. And he's also a fantastic guy. Loads of fun to talk to. So go to Murfield. But yes, I will call it there. No, what? It's a lie. The 10-hour drive might seem like a lot, but me and Franax both have like ADHD. So we will spend the whole 10 hours talking just the whole time, and then we'll pull up to like where we're staying, and then we'll be rushing because like we're running out of time, as if like there was so much more to say, and 10 hours wasn't enough.
Like straight out, it's not even a joke.
It's
Like
so funny.
we can just
It's
talk for
10 hours
days.
each way. It's 10 hours each way. So it's like 20 hours. There's still more to talk about.
And we had like breaks in between because I was like, you can't, like, you wanted to drive the entire thing in one, and I was like, no, we need to have regular breaks, or your wife will kill me, and she will be right.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, like we had breaks in between as well, which is even funnier.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
That's
good
next
times. I'm
month.
really looking
So
forward to it.
same. I just need to build and paint this warband, and Pyregeists are look like a bit of a tricky paint job because they're fiery and spectral, which is just like, ooh, that's like that's
I
outside of my comfort zone for that.
I need to show you how I did mine, and I didn't use any airbrush or anything like that. Like it was just like relatively straightforward dry brushing.
All right.
So I think you'll have a good time with it.
Send us pics.
Will do.
I'll ogle and steal.
100%.
But yes, thank you everybody for tuning into this 2-hour stream. We're back. We've got a 3-hour wild dice on the channel now. I've written 2 scripts today for potential videos and planned a third in its first draft phase. So it might not be weekly content or weekly streams, but content is coming
I mean,
way more regularly.
your audience is like crying out for more content, and specifically more of your content. And I say this has been one of them. So yeah, no, I think that sounds fucking excellent.
No,
I might
been good.
even be inspired to do a video.
You should.
And I know, but it's been so long. So yeah, I don't know. We'll get there.
Also, have you seen Alex's last video? So good.
Oh, it was excellent. I actually
So
really
good.
liked what he did with that. And it makes me sad that the success spooked him. Like everyone loved that video so much, so he was like, shit.
Yeah, I was like, 'cause I knew it was doing well. I was like, how well did it do? That video got like 25,000 views.
Yeah.
That like broke through like the Warcry barrier into like mainstream like wargaming stuff and just got everybody watching.
Yep.
Like that's
And
spooky. All
Yeah.
all of his videos have done well. Like in the almost like, approaching or in the 2000s, and then like
Yeah.
his third video, boom, like 25K. That would be spooky.
But that's the thing, like like the filmmaking is excellent, but
It
also
is.
the thing that I love is that he always, whenever he talks about the game, like we are very like high energy and almost like yappy about it. Like we're very excited, but I feel in a way that sometimes it makes people go, right, you need to calm down first before
Yeah.
you continue talking. And he's just so suave and chill, and
He
his
is.
vibe, like he's not up there, he's down here. And I feel like that's excellent for like putting across the vibe of the game. And especially like with the amount of eyes that he got on that,
Yeah.
I think because the name of the game for Warcry is visibility, right? So I think he did really, really well to represent the community incredibly. And then the next video being like, hey, like everyone loves their games, and I love my game as well, but also don't be weird about it. Which is like, I feel like it's the Warcry community motto. Like, just don't be weird about it. It's fine.
Yeah.
And I love that for him.
That same. That was we're talking about long run hobbies. 'Cause I just said Alex last time. Long run hobbies. Quality new channel. Highly recommend. He doesn't just do Warcry. He does like bigger looks at wargaming, including Warcry at the same time, and his videos are very, very chill. They're an absolute vibe. And he's also just happens to be one of the best Warcry players on the planet. So he's very well informed.
Straight up. And he's also a great like community manager down in Southampton because they have a
Yes.
really good group.
He's
So
he's
yeah,
he's
they
running Storm in the South as well. That's the same guy.
yeah.
So yes, check
So
out
yeah,
Language Hobbies.
it's a good group. If you're nearby, go play with them. You're not gonna regret it.
Not at all. Not at all. But for realsies this time, thank you for joining, checking out the stream. It's been a fantastic time. I'm glad to be back. Thank you, Filax, for popping in for a natter and not a game, but maybe next time. And
Yeah,
we'll need to
I'm
get
just happy to
at
be
least
back.
one game in because I need to check out your Fire Slayers.
That's true. I was just gonna play Cities of Sigmar, but like, I do need to get some games with them in. But we're not gonna derail into another half an hour.
No.
Side tangent.
I'll see
See you,
you
chat.
all potentially next week or the week after. Ta-ra. There